Riverside Police Department, California. Investigation Bulletin. Case, Matthew Moore. November 18, 1964. In the early hours of November 16, 1964, the Riverside Police Department received an emergency call at 3 a.m. from the residence of Michelle Hill, wife of the sought-after suspect, Matthew Moore, a 34-year-old man. Michelle reported an incident that left her terrified and deeply concerned for the safety of the children. According to her statement, Matthew came home late at night, as usual, heavily intoxicated. However, on this particular night, instead of merely apologizing as he had on previous occasions, Matthew coldly and without remorse confessed to his wife that he had killed several children with the aim of transferring their lives to his robotic projects, in the hope of creating what he called the Perfect Project. In response to such a revelation, Michelle reacted in horror, demanding that her husband turn himself into the authorities. However, Matthew fled the house without providing any further explanation, leaving Michelle terrified and in shock. Immediately, Michelle contacted the Riverside Police Department to report both the crime and the disappearance of her husband. Michelle Hill, during our interrogation, revealed details about Matthew's personal life. The couple had been married for 8 years and had 2 children. Matthew founded Robotic Workshop, a small workshop dedicated to the creation and sale of robotic projects. Although the business never grew to significant proportions, his skills in robotics and mechanics were notable. Matthew became obsessed with the idea of creating perfect machines, which, according to his wife, marked the beginning of his descent into crime. However, new details about Matthew's past have emerged in the last few hours. According to Michelle, Matthew had a traumatic childhood, filled with severe abuse and mistreatment. She explained that his father would physically assault Matthew whenever he received bad grades or even when he tried to share his achievements. His mother, instead of protecting him, justified the abuse. This constant environment of violence deeply affected Matthew, who began to develop aggressive and problematic behaviors during his adolescence. He stopped attending school, assaulted his classmates, and according to unconfirmed reports, it is suspected that he may have killed small animals. At the age of 18, Matthew developed an interest in robotics and founded Robotic Workshop, his first workshop. From that point on, he began to delve into technology, mechanics, and the creation of robots. This obsession led him to view his projects as a way to achieve the perfection he so desperately desired, perhaps as a means of escaping the pain of his past. The investigation is closely examining the relationship between the crimes confessed by Matthew and his disturbing past. The idea of creating the perfect project seems to be tied to his obsession with perfection, a concept influenced by the violence he suffered as a child and his constant desire for control over his life. The deaths of the children, according to Michelle Hill's statements, were seen by Matthew as a way to transfer their lives to his projects, suggesting an attempt to create an idealized version of what he could never achieve. Matthew Moore remains at large. A statewide arrest warrant has been issued, and federal agencies have been requested to assist in locating him. It is suspected that Matthew may have changed his name, using the identities of Jerry Hall or James